Tigran voltaris, the monster of the Voltaris clan, and the creation of generational hate. Hello everyone, I'm Deltheus, and today I wanted to basically do a deep dive into Tigran's character, and basically talk about the unwritten and technically speaking, unofficial and unintended theme of his character. And also, I wasn't really exaggerating when I said that he is a monster, and I call him the monster of the Voltaris clan, since I feel like he deserves that title, since if Ingressus get a title, why not him? And his title, the monster of the Voltaris clan, does make sense due to the fact that he burned down 3 villages, killed all of them, and the children that was in those said villages, and a lot of other acts that we do not know, or know very little of. So, I'm going to click my talking and move on with the analysis. Even though we don't know much, or really anything about Tygren's early life, we can definitely be for sure that before Season 1, he grew up somewhere in the Burial Mountains. Probably most likely in the same Burial Mountain areas with Ingressus, since that's most likely seem to be one of the most, or at least in my opinion, most of the Voltaris clan was. And also if they're going to get to Crown Peak, it's most likely they could have went one simple direction. So I'm putting my bet at that location. But what we also do know is the fact that he was able to basically become the de facto leader of the Voltaris clan, and heard stories about Ingressus and the Great War, and knew about Ingressus' plan to basically come back from the Great War and time travel plan. And also we can definitely be sure that he heard the stories about Ingressus and all of his deeds. But unlike the viewer who knows the entire context of Ingressus' deeds, the Voltaris clan doesn't. They only have some context, like the fact that he wanted to save his people and guarantee the Voltaris clan's survival. But I don't think they, well, not don't think, we all already basically know they don't know about the other stuff. Like his personal connection to Achillean Historius, the Tide Singer, or other things. And you know what's pretty much a big shame about this situation is the fact that both Tygren, Lucidius, and now we never truly get to see their opinions of Ingressus after he returns. Well, Zenata is dead, so we definitely not worry about him, but like, what about Lucidius, or Tygren, or literally any other Voltaris? Like, for Season 2 and 3, we don't really get the chance to see their opinions of Ingressus, but I can kind of maybe theorize that his opinion of Ingressus may have went down a bit, but we can never be for certain about that. Now on to the question on why Tygren became what he is, because you would expect him and other Voltaris to become the exact same, but in reality they end up being very different. Unlike Tygren, who is basically a straight up violent, bloodthirsty person, characters like Elmorak was basically a football pacifist. Deltheus was, well, not really anything, I'm not even sure. And Lucidius was just there like most of the time, just following orders and not really doing much at all. And he seemed to be a little bit more peaceful when he was talking to people, especially having so there's definitely something up with this character, since if you can easily remember, all these people literally grew up in the exact same conditions. Like for example, the Burial Mountains, where Elmrak himself confirmed that those Widget Mountains were pretty bad, and Delpheus also confirmed this when he was talking with Ingressus. And so to basically help us fully understand Tygren's character and why I believe he's the creation of generational hate, let's use the history of Eastern Europe to help us. Yes, this will make sense, follow me on this. The reason I use Eastern Europe instead of all of Europe is mainly due to the fact that unlike places like Western Europe, Eastern Europe definitely is the best candidate for Tigran. And the reasons are this. Just like the Voltaris clan, Eastern Europe is basically a big chunk of history of ethnic groups constantly being oppressed, slaughtered, and massacred constantly. Specifically like the Holodomor and other events in the Eastern Europe's history. And to the main people groups I will be referring to, while comparing the Voltaris clan to at least, will be the Ukrainians, Belarusians, and literally any ethnic group that was inside the Russian Empire during its reign. And here's a connection I was able to form between both groups to help you guys understand why I believe Tigran is the creation of generational hate. Because throughout the times of the Russian Empire, they basically kept oppressing any non-Russian, especially the Ukrainians, Belarusians, or actually any group that tried to basically form its own identity that wasn't Russian or already part of an established identity group. And for basically generations, the people of these minorities, for generations and generations within the Russian Empire, all these people groups basically did everything they can to survive, either hiding or just playing along. Now, the Voltaris clan didn't get the chance to do the whole playing along part and got in society and stuff, but they definitely did the part where they hid and tried everything to guarantee their survival, even killing people who dare find out they were still alive. Like people that were sent to Deltheus to find out what's happening over there, or to send parents. For big two examples. And also due to the fact that these for generations people of Eastern Europe, in the Russian Empire part at least, were always basically taught that they were basically, according to Russians, inferior to them. And they basically and over time a bunch of these people groups were slowly and then eventually quickly building up a lot of hate and anger. And since they couldn't outright openly express this, they basically had to bold it in and not release it out for the world to basically face. And then as soon as the Russian Empire seemed to be straight up breaking down and collapsing in on itself, all these groups realized that, hey, we had the chance to set ourselves free. And so they immediately tried to get that chance, with multiple people groups like the Ukrainians, Latvians, Nestorians, Lithuanians, and many other groups trying to get independence. The Baltic people groups succeed. The Ukrainians, well, they failed, but they succeeded later. I ain't gonna around that part. If you're a Ukrainian or know Ukrainian history, you know what I'm talking about here. And during the chaos, a bunch of these minorities decided to finally get the revenge against the Russians, who basically oppressed them for generations, and for some of them, hundreds of years. That's not even a joke. Some of these people were under Russia's control for hundreds of years. Worse than the Voltaris clan. And as soon as they released all their anger, they committed mass genocide, murder, and basically fought back against their oppressors, which caused a big counterattack from their oppressors. Just like the minorities, Tygren basically lived through all that oppression and had all that built-up anger towards the others. And as soon as he got the chance to finally release all of it, he did mass genocide. And I'm definitely counting the 4 villages he murdered as mass genocide, since that's definitely matches the definition of genocide. And also how, unlike Ingressus, who at least felt bad for what he was doing, Tigran straight up loved it. And I think due to all the hate he was building up, I think that is the reason he became so bloodthirsty, unlike Ingressus. Since unlike Ingressus, who had at least the chance to find peace with himself for at least a certain amount of time before the tournament, Tigran never got the chance to get that said peace. And unlike Ingressus, and I can definitely say that Tigran himself became, worse than his own oppressors. Basically, he became everything that he was feared to be, which, in a way, proves what the other clans said about the Voltaris, and unjustly proves as well. I know I didn't really do that well with the comparison part, but I think that Eastern Europe and its history can definitely fit the Voltaris clan, and also help the viewer understand Tigran a bit more, since I don't think really anyone was fully understood why Tigran did what he did, but then again, not that many people really discuss Tigren's character like that, besides from the bullcrap he does and his whole bloodlust stuff. So yeah, this has been Deltheus, and I'm signing out.